Today on ZZZ Made Easy, we're going to talk about Drive Dis. Drive Dis are Zenless Zone Zero's equivalent to gear with random stats. In my opinion, they are the last thing you farm to power up your agents simply due to their power increase depending on RNG. However, they are 100% needed to start clearing endgame content. This will be a beginner's guide to topics such as partitions, main stats, and substats. We'll talk about how to farm Drive Dis, including how the Bardic needle shop operates. Lastly, I'll cover how to use the Drive Dis menus and filters to efficiently keep things in check. We will not be covering individual Drive Dis set effects, maybe another day. If you're just starting ZZZ, don't worry about Drive Dis at all. Once the game introduces you to Elfie and her Bardic needle shop, that's when you should start giving it some attention. Under your equipment tab for your agents, surrounding your W engine will be 6 slots. The game calls these partitions. These are numbered 1 through 6, starting from the upper left going counterclockwise. Drive Dis are split into sets. For example, the starting 2 sets you'll get for free are Woodpecker Electro and Shockstar Disco. Each set has a 2-piece and 4-piece set bonus. The general idea is to build around a main 4-piece set bonus and use an accompanying 2-piece set bonus. You can also do 3 different 2-piece sets. Early on, going for set bonuses is preferred and you can use any partition for any Drive Dis set. However, eventually you need to take note of which partition a disc goes in. Each Drive Disc is locked to a certain partition. This is the number after the name of your set. Each partition will house a different main stat. For partitions 1, 2, and 3, these have one main stat each. Partition 1's main stat is flat HP, partition 2 is flat attack, and partition 3 is flat defense. The main stat for each of these never changes, so they're the easiest to mix and match. Partitions 4, 5, and 6 are where things get ugly. All 3 of these can have main stats for percent HP, percent attack, and percent defense. In addition, partition 4 can also get crit rate, crit damage, and anomaly proficiency. Partition 5 has pen ratio, which is percent defense penetration, and then a damage bonus for every attribute: physical, fire, ice, electric, and ether. Last, for partition 6, you can get anomaly mastery, impact, and energy regen. Unfortunately, main stats are only part of the Drive Dis gearing score. Once you have your desired main stats with your 4 and 2-piece set bonuses, now it's time to level them. This is where substats come into play. Each Drive Dis rarity comes with a different number of substats at level 0. For B rank discs, you can get 1 to 2 substats, A rank discs can come with 2 to 3, S rank discs come with 3 to 4. Every time you level up a Drive Dis, the main stat value will increase. For every 3 levels, you gain another substat up to a max of 4 different substats. Once you have 4 substats on your disc, then every 3rd level will instead increase a random substats value. You can keep track of which substats got increased by the +1, +2, etc. B rank, A rank, and S rank discs have different max levels. B rank discs only go up to level 9, A rank goes up to level 12, and S rank goes up to level 15. Essentially, lower rarity discs have lower stat gain potentials for both main stat and substat values. A true god roll would be to have an S rank disc with 4 innate substats. When you level it up to 15, you get 5 substat increases, and hopefully all 5 go into a substat you desire. So, what substats can you even get? Unlike main stats, every substat is available for every partition. In addition to percent attack, HP, and defense, there is now flat attack, HP, and defense. You can get flat penetration, as well as more anomaly proficiency. Last, you can get crit rate and crit damage. Disc rarity will once again affect the value of your substats, so S rank discs are best. When you get a substat increase in ZZZ, the bonus increase is always the same, and it matches the base value at +0. So, any S rank disc with a crit rate substat will get a +2.4% bonus. If you get a crit rate level up, then that crit rate +1 becomes 4.8%, +2 will be 7.2%. Do note, you cannot get a substat that is the same as the main stat on your disc. This means if you have a crit rate main stat, you cannot get a crit rate substat. Leveling Drive Dis is an important part of making your agent stronger. In S rank, level 15 percent attack main stat disc adds +30% attack. A level 15 energy regen disc adds +60% energy regen. These are very big increases. In the early to mid game, you pretty much do not need to level B rank disc at all. If anything, only leveling up the partition 2 flat attack disc. When you start to get A rank discs, these are fine to upgrade, but if you play well enough, you don't need to fully level any defensive stats. A lot of players will ignore partition 1 and 3 because the early to mid game main story content doesn't punish you that badly. If anything, level 3 or level 6 is good enough. Your agent's actual levels provide enough base stats to survive a decent amount. If you're doing okay with partially leveled A rank discs, you can save your leveling materials for S rank discs. When you get to the point of farming A rank or S rank discs, generally getting the right main stat is the priority. The true endgame is getting the right main stat plus having good substats and then making sure it fits into your 2 or 4 piece set bonus. It is a little overwhelming, and yes, you pretty much will get garbage a lot of the time. However, it is up to you to decide on when your drive discs are good enough for your agent. In these Hoyo games, people can spend months trying to min-max their gear. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't, and if you try to get god rolls for all 6 partitions, well, that's going to take a little bit of time. This is why the general advice is to farm drive discs last when fishing for more power. By increasing your agent's level, skills, and W engines, these provide guaranteed power boosts. Drive discs are important, but you need to learn when to settle for good enough. Now that we've talked about the horrors, process of leveling and setting up your drive discs, how do we actually farm them? Remember how I said you get 2 disc sets for free, Woodpecker Electro and Shockstar Disco? Well, you can receive these 2 sets as rewards for doing the various side content in the game. Side quest commissions, helping Bang Boo, and generally anything under Officer Mimi's quests can reward these drive discs. For the most part, you're only going to get B rank discs. Again, this is the early game, so you just want to slot in any disc you have to make a 4-piece set. It's free stats, don't waste too many materials upgrading B rank discs. At a certain point, you're going to unlock Routine Cleanup. I believe it's at Internet level 26, and you must have done the Chapter 2 main story quest with Bellabog Industries. You will be asked to talk to Roland at Scott Outpost. Routine Cleanup is where you can farm specific drive disc sets. These are split into groups of 2, and it's a fairly straightforward defeat enemies type stage. The reward is going to be a random assortment of drive discs from the 2 sets for the stage. As you increase your proxy rank, you can get guaranteed S rank discs, I believe at level 35. Generally, it's not advised to go hard on farming until you can get S rank disc rewards. Up until then, if you're curious, then give it a try, but focus on your agent levels, skills, and divisions first. From level 35, this is where we can start to dive deeper into making drive disc sets. If you can get an S rank partition to flat attack disc, then generally that's a good beginner investment if you need more damage. At this stage, we're not caring about substats at all. Eventually, unlocking higher difficulties rewards more S rank discs. I believe the level 50 stages give 2 guaranteed S ranks. Level 60 gives 2 guaranteed S ranks with a chance for a 3rd drop as well. While farming, you will accumulate a lot of A rank discs. Do not disregard these. If they have the desired main stat and decent substats, then you may want to level it up until you get a better S rank in the future. Routine Cleanup is the main way to farm for discs, but Zenless Zone Zero has one more way to obtain them. After doing the initial quest with Roland, you're also going to be introduced to Elfie and her Bardic Needle shop. This is where you can gacha for more drive discs using a specific material called Master Copies. There are 3 tiers of Master Copies with the color tying to the rarity: blue for B rank, red for A rank, and yellow for S rank. At the beginning, Elfie will only have beginner tuning available. It costs 5 blue master copies to create 1 B rank drive disc. You can also do a 10 pull at the same conversion cost. However, always make sure you select a specific track, aka you can pick which drive disc set you're going to get. Instead of hoping Routine Cleanup gives you the right set, you can at least guarantee you get the right one from Elfie. At the beginning, any tuning you do is going to give you random partitions. However, for every 5 B rank discs you tune, one of those will turn into an A rank disc. Doing a 10 pull means you get 2 A ranks. There actually is a gacha part where any tuning can become an A rank, but it's very unlikely. When you get to Internet level 35, Bardic Needle unlocks more features. You now have access to intermediate tuning, which means you can create A rank discs. Like before, it's going to cost 5 red master copies to make 1 A rank disc. Every 5th disc will also be an S rank as a bonus. A new feature is that you will now be able to pick which partition Elfie gives you. You can now select a specific partition and it tells you which main stats are possible to get. However, the master copy cost is now double. If you want to get a partition 6 disc, it now costs 10 master copies. Do be careful of the cost. At Internet level 40, you will unlock the full power of Bardic Needle. Now you can do advanced tuning for S rank discs. The main difference is that it only costs 3 yellow master copies to make 1 S rank disc. If you select a partition, it now costs 6 copies. Selecting partitions 4, 5, and 6 will also allow you to now use the tuning calibrator item. This will let you pick what main stat you want. Early on, this is quite a powerful item. However, it does not guarantee what substats you will get. When using tune calibrators, you should only ever expect to get the main stat for a specific set, and that's about it. Whatever substats you get are just a bonus. As you keep playing and farming drive discs, you may eventually have a decent stash of discs with the correct main stat for a set. At that point, the value of the tuning calibrator goes down. However, later on, we're going to get new drive disc sets. If you want to make a build with the new set, a tuning calibrator can immediately get you a main stat to use. Like I said before, drive disc farming is pure RNG. You could spend a week's worth of battery and never get the main stat you want for a specific set. That's where the guarantee from the tuning calibrator can be nice to have. The last part of this video, we'll go over drive disc management and how to actually get more master copies so you can gotcha at Elfie. First off, master copies can be rewards from various in-game activities such as Notorious Hunt or Shiyu Defense. The other way to get them is by dismantling drive discs. The rarity of your dismantled drive disc will give you the corresponding master copy type. This means it takes 5 dismantled B rank discs to gotcha a new one at Elfie. Dismantling discs also provides you some drive disc leveling materials. To make your life easier, you're going to want to get familiar with the drive disc menus. In the top right, you can set the status of a disc. Locking the disc makes sure you can't accidentally dismantle it, while setting it to discard will mark the disc with a trash icon. I highly recommend when you get new drive discs to inspect them individually and then mark which ones you want to keep and which to dismantle. You can dismantle from the agent equipment screen, or you can go to Bardic Needle. Once there, all your trash can marked discs are going to appear at the top. However, do not immediately choose the select all option. If you were to scroll down, after your marked discs, there's going to be any unmarked discs. Select all will pick those too. If you don't want this to happen, then open up the filter. Under drive disc status, you can select discarded. At this point, it's safe to select all and then dismantle. You should now have an idea of the drive disc farming loop in Zenless Zone Zero. Spend your battery charge farming routine cleanup. Dismantle any unwanted drive discs to get master copies. Go to Bardic Needle to spend master copies to gotcha for a specific set and maybe even specific partitions. To optimize your farming, you can use Bardic Needle to gotcha sets that don't have the best routine cleanup pairing. The biggest example is Woodpecker Electro. Its routine cleanup stage is paired with Soul Rock. Let's just say Soul Rock is not a great set outside its 2-piece defense boost. Most people would rather farm a different stage than use master copies to tune Woodpecker Electro by itself. Going back to the drive disc UI in version 1.1, there is now a recommend feature. This is simply a listing of what set combos people are using if you want some ideas. If you go over to Partitions 4, 5, and 6, this feature also lists what main stats people are using. The most used option may not be optimal for you because you need to account for things like W engines and team comps. Use this as an indicator, but don't blindly use whatever's at the top. To showcase how to use the drive disc filter, let's do an example of how I would select my disc for Anton. I already know I want a 4-piece Thunder Metal set with a 2-piece Woodpecker Electro. I like to start with Partitions 4, 5, and 6 because they have varying main stats. Go over to Partition 4 and open the filter. For these stats, I will select Thunder Metal and Woodpecker. Go down to Main Stat and Expand. Do note the filter only shows you if you have a specific option. I want a crit rate main stat, and this is telling me I do have those available. Select crit rate and close the filter. You can see I do not have any crit rate Thunder Metal pieces. I only have one S rank disc, so naturally I will pick that even though the substats are subpar. Now we move to Partition 5. I want an electric damage piece, but to expand my options, I'll also select percent attack. As you can see, not a lot of choices, and I only have one electric damage piece. For now, that's what I'm going to go with. For Partition 6, I could do energy regen, but since I'm using Anton's signature W engine, I think he has enough energy regen already. This means I'm going to go with percent attack. I have some options, but only one S rank piece. I'm going to go with that since the substats are also not too bad. At this point, we need partitions 1, 2, and 3. From our 3 pieces, I already have my 2-piece Woodpecker Electro fulfilled. This means I now want to go all Thunder Metal on the left side. I clear my filter, set it to Thunder Metal only, and instead of main stats, let's see what substats I can get. In general, I want crit rate and crit damage. Selecting both of these pops up some numbers underneath. If I were to pick 2, the filter is telling me there is a disc that has both crit rate and crit damage substats. Choosing this option will give me the one disc with both available. Let's do the same for Partition 2. Reopening the filter, you can see there is no longer a 2 lit up at the bottom. This means I do not have a disc with both crit rate and crit damage, only one or the other. That's okay, I'll pick the best one on hand. Doing this one last time for Partition 3, I actually do have a crit rate and crit damage piece. 2, in fact. You can compare both to see them side by side. there is an unleveled disc that could turn out better than what I have currently. If we go to the enhanced screen, you can level up your disc here. While you can manually select which EXP item to use, you can also add until the next stage. This is basically until you hit the next 3rd level. Every 3 levels will increase my substats, and the UI also tells you this. At some point, if you're just chasing substats, you don't want to fully level drive this all in one go. You can do 3 levels at a time to see if you get a desired substat increase. Fully leveling drive disc is expensive, so do be careful not to go overboard. That's going to be it for my drive disc beginner's guide. When it comes to making builds with drive disc, there are a lot of variables, and we obviously did not cover everything here. I hope this video is a useful foundation if you would like to dive deeper into those topics. Thank you for watching, and good luck farming those drive discs. You're gonna need it. I will see you in the next video.